Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War. It's remastered. Today on Eclipse, it's going to be Rain and RoyaL coming at it. Top right, it's going to be Rain, one of the best Protoss players over the last 10 years, easily. And in the bottom left, it is RoyaL. Both players are ASL champions. Both players have it in them to defeat the other player. It is Eclipse. It is a PvT. ASL 19 has been so good. So great, man. Hope you're watching it. And if you're not, it's on YouTube as well with Tastosis casting it. So if you want to link to the channel, I'll let you, well, I'll show it to you. I will link it to you and I will respond to your comment because, again, never in the history of this channel of the last 10 years have I gotten so many comments. I cannot read every single one. So, hey, let's go ahead and move out with the probe. We've got ourselves a probe scout, everybody. PD the probe scouting out, looking intense with his green eyes staring into your soul. Look at that. What? If you saw this, it's like basically the size of you, maybe a little bit taller, in like a spaceship hallway. You would be so scared, man. I would be as well. So it's going to be a PvT. No Nexus first here, throwing down a gateway, walling off against vultures at his natural base. Here is Rain. Barracks, no proxies, just, you know, preparing for the Zealot that is inevitably going to come here in PvT on a 2-player map. And look at this, a gas block. So he knows it's going to be a Zealot coming across the map. So, good Sim City already. I don't think he's going to build a bunker here. I think he thinks he can hold it off with just good Sim City and like three Marines and a couple of SCVs pulled off the line. So as soon as the gateway finishes, not enough minerals for a Zealot. Making a probe, making a Zealot. Okay, there we go. Finally making a Zealot here. One SCV pulled off to destroy the assimilator. And you can tell how much a Terran needs this gas by how many SCVs he pulls off of minerals, right? 2, and I want to say 3, maybe even 4. Marine chipping in, Zealot across the map. We've got Mungs with Robert the Zealot's face on it at Falcon Paladin .store. Did I say Mungs? Mung beads? I should have said mugs. Indeed. God, that reminds me of that episode in The Office. It's just a quick little throwaway. Basically, who's talking about it? Somebody's talking about Creed, and they're like, man, it's old man smell. It's old man smell over there by Creed because he's so old. And then he's like, no, it's mung beads. He has mung beads growing on a damp paper towel in the drawer of his desk, and he's like, yeah, I'm sprouting mung beads on a damp paper towel in my desk. Very nutritious and delicious, but they smell like death. Oh man, Creed's one of the greatest characters, dude, in all of The Office. That episode 2, where he ends up like trying to ditch out on work, but then he ends up hailing down the bus that the rest of his team is on. Anyway, good stuff. 1 Marine down. Ooh, probe got a Marine before it died. That's a probe that's going to Valhalla for sure. I'm not sure that Protoss believe in Valhalla, but they have some kind of weird afterlife beliefs. They're religious, right? Right. Anyway, do you just join with the Kala as one? Is that what you do? So like I said, held off quite nicely. Command center delayed construction a tiny bit. Bunker at the front. Did not need to have to build a bunker back here at all. I think it was 4 Marines, maybe 5 Marines that he built instead of just the 3. And he's able to expand 2 and get his gas back just now. Good man, RoyaL. Big fan of that. Cybercore is coming in. SCV sees the saturation levels, sees a complete lack of a Cybercore inside the wall, but he knows it's back here. So he knows the timing of Dragoons. Now, at this point, he went for 1 gate expand into Cybercore, so he's a little bit vulnerable. But RoyaL's not going to try to take advantage of that. He's just saturating his bunker. Zealots are prepared to deal with anything that comes out here, but that was crazy, man. He went for a 1 gate expand into Cybercore, going into Robo now. His worker count's going to be excellent. Factory. Yeah, factory timing at about 5 minutes here from RoyaL. Double factory. No doubt. Should we place our bets? Is it going to be Reavers? Or is it going to be Observatory into Reavers? Or Observatory into not Reavers? These are the options the Protoss has right now. So far, production tab says Observatory. CC Senor. We know about the Observatory. In the wall? Where are they putting it? Oh, back here. Okay, cool. So not in the wall. Observatory in a safe location. Good grief. What a wonderful experience. Good stuff. So no sign of Reavers. Singularity charge, yes, but crazy late. You're not pressuring at all with those Dragoons. Armory coming in. Double machine shop. Triple factory. Let's say Vulture upgrades. Let's say Vulture speed, Spider Mines, and then we'll get into siege mode. That's my guess here from RoyaL. Third Nexus on the way at about 6 minutes here. What's interesting is both of these players have their ASL victories, but have not really top tier made it to the final four of the last couple ASLs themselves. So it's a little bit interesting. Once you get to the top, sometimes I think people get a little bit complacent and maybe they stop practicing as hard or start slacking off a little bit. Maybe don't keep up with the meta as much. Okay, I was way off. Way off. He's going for... Okay, so he scans in, sees no Reavers, but he does see... Or no Reavers. No carriers, but he does see a Reaver tech. He goes for Charon boost in siege mode first. Doesn't even bother with Vultures whatsoever. Look at Falcon being utterly and completely wrong in guessing what RoyaL's going to do in this game. So you blocked off against Vultures, congratulations, but there are Goliaths and tanks coming early. He scanned in and saw the Reaver tech and said, yes, I am justified in my decision to go for Goliaths here instead of Vultures. It's going to be Reavers. Being able to shoot those shuttles out of the sky is priority number 1 for me. Let's see how this goes. Another factory, 2, 4 factories inside the main base here on 2 bases for the Terran. Probes can mineral walk through everything that's in its way. Probe transfer looking like something from a nature documentary, I would say. OBS does get a nice scout off. He was worried, that there were turrets, but no. Just scans and Goliaths. Nothing else to worry about there. You may have noticed I'm branching off a bit into TV show and movie analysis on the channel. The StarCraft views are kind of dipping, so we're going to try to branch out a little bit. That's what businesses do. So I posted a video about Andor a couple weeks ago, and I did a follow-up to Andor last week. About 1 video a week. If you want something different from Falcon, his thoughts on maybe a movie he's watched recently or some TV show that's taken the world by storm, then check those out as well. StarCraft is still coming, folks. You may have noticed this is a StarCraft cast. I have not abandoned it, nor shall I ever. All right, Dragoons are out. They're going to try to delay the push that's coming soon because we've got a good decent number of tanks. There are some Vultures here. They're unupgraded. Just kidding, they have Spider Mines. Everything's fine. Speed is on the way, though. 4th base coming in downright from Rain. I like Rain a lot, man. He's got more second place finishes than anybody over the last 10 years in ASL. It's kind of nuts, like how many seconds he has. And he's got a couple firsts as well. Nothing recent, but I'm talking about over the last decade. But yeah, he's been up there. He's been up there at the tippy top for a lot. We're going to Reaver drop down the left side. Turret. No hits. 1 hit. Turret inside the main base trying to help as well. There's the unload. Zealots first. Yes. Reavers behind the mineral line where it's relatively safe. SCV pull is good. Trying to take down the turret and maybe deny an upgrade, but the armory's not actually working right now. That's okay. You have to make another one if you want to make that upgrade later, so it is kind of denying an upgrade if you look at it that way. Yeah, the shuttle's gone. It knows that. Reaver trying to get a big hit on. Does get a big hit on SCVs. Brought him back a little bit too early. and saves the armory at 80 hit points too. So, bit of a mistake on both ways there, but these are unsupported siege tanks. No vultures to help them, no Goliaths to help them, and 3 of the 4 end up dying to a nice little Dragoon jump on. That's all it was. Very simple stuff. Templar Archives coming in. Gonna be Gateway Man with those shuttles here today. 3rd CC landing up the left side for RoyaL. And that drop was okay. It probably killed, what, 6 SCVs, possibly? Got a turret. Got a couple vultures. The armory's alive and getting repaired. So here's the Terran's turn to push out and try to get something done. Escorting this probe transfer with Dragoons, and then kind of, I think pathing screwed that up. But the probes make it in there anyway because the vultures didn't jump on it when they had a tiny, tiny, tiny window in which to do it. That's another scan. Yeah, just out in front here to see what he's dealing with. Most scans Terrans do are of just the map. Jumping on this stuff, though. Zealots running in. Jumping on the tanks, getting extra damage off, trying to kill them before they can get any hits off on the Dragoons. It's a nice little concave here, but low ground are some of these Dragoons, which is never ideal. Reinforcing tanks come in. It looks like it's going to be barely a hold here. Good stutter step as well, dodging those spider mines. And tank down, and the last tank's probably going to die here too, because why not? No, because reinforcements are here. And just never get him. Spider Mine saves him. 17 hit points on that guy. Whew. All right, so 3 base to 4 base. Terran's feeling okay. He's throwing up additional factories here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 factories. Upgrades here. Vultures get into the base. There's only 1 cannon. That's not enough. That's never enough to deal with these vultures. What are you doing? All right. Well, I mean, the probes aren't dying, but they're also not mining, so they're not providing any value to the shareholders here. Starport is on the way. Is it a Wraith, possibly? Maybe a Wraith hit squad to try to deal with these shuttles. Not a bad idea. Goliaths finally clear out the vulture infestation. Down there at the 4th base, the 5th base at the 12 o'clock is coming in quite nicely. And I think everything looks just fine for Rain. He's up 50 supply. Yeah, these probes weren't mining for a minute, but that's not the end of the world. Vulture's on the move out, you know, past the 10-minute mark. Do we go Wraith here? Nope, control tower. So probably going to go for science vessels with EMP. It's a little late for drop ships. If you're going to see dropped vultures, it's usually... there's a +1 air weapons and a Stargate coming in. It's usually in the early stages of the match. But that is a forge. This... where is he building this stuff? That's a Stargate. That's a +1 air weapons. If we get a second Stargate and a fleet beacon, it's definitely carriers. Let's keep an eye on that. And let's see when RoyaL figures this out. I love vultures trying to kill nexuses. It's very funny every time. And sometimes they do it. Sometimes they succeed. It's very cool. All right, more scans. Sees the cyber core spinning. Does not see the Stargate, though. And says, okay, that's a second Stargate. Second Stargate. Second cyber core. And fleet beacon? And fleet beacon. Okay, it is going to be carriers here at 13 minutes, folks. Let's see. Let's play the game. When does RoyaL figure out its carriers? Because right now he's on 3 bases. He's making the traditional 3 siege tanks and 4 vultures with his factories. Very regular stuff. He scans in, sees a ton of zealots. Scans this space, sees cannons and dragoons. There's nothing here that should tell him it's carriers. Nothing. This looks very much like a regular... it is. It's a maxed out Protoss army with dragoons and High Templar and zealots. And is getting dropped like normal into the 3rd base. And there's a lot of vultures here. We get a storm off. He does kind of storm himself and everybody else. I don't know if many SCVs died there, and it was a lot of the army was parked on this thing, so not the greatest drop of all time. 81 to 61 workers. Protoss is up, scans in. Still, oh my gosh, he doesn't see it. He doesn't see the... he sees the spinning... he sees the single spinning cyber core and says, "You're trying to trick me." No, nope, nope, no. He does. He decides it is. He decides the cyber core is still spinning. I'm going to fire up 5 Goliaths at a time. That's it. That's all the information that he had. All he knew was that the cyber core was still spinning at 15 minutes. He doesn't see the Stargate. He doesn't see any carriers. He doesn't see a fleet beacon. And yet, oh, maybe he just made a round of Dragoons and he's moving back in to Vultures and Siege Tanks. Oh, this is, dude, it's being hidden. It's being hidden so expertly. Carriers are on the way. Carrier capacity upgrades coming in too. EMP is getting researched. He's like, ah, he did it. He did it. He found the tech. Okay. Oh, he makes more vultures. He's like, all right. So I think we're still early enough that the carrier group is not big. We should be able to push in and kill the Protoss player before that carrier group becomes a massive problem. Let's go. He's moving. He's got 1-1 upgrades. We're trying to force a siege out, and there is a great siege there. Great Psystorm on the vultures and on the tanks. Tasteless was talking about this in ASL 19. He was like, you know, a lot of Protoss players think I should really only storm the tanks. They're the problem. But if you storm the vultures, they die fast, and it makes your Zealots and High Templar a lot more effective, too. So yeah, see this? See Rain's trying to storm the vultures? I mean, they're really shifty. It's hard to pin down a storm on those guys, in all fairness, but still. But still. Oh, carriers have popped up. They don't have any interceptors yet. Goliath's getting body shots on them is a bad thing. Rain's got to get this Terran off of this position, and he's going to try and do it as much as he can. Psystorm, yeah, is going to clear out every single tank. Thank you very much. And yep, the ground army here of the Protoss Rain was enough to break that position, but reinforcing tanks are still back here. It's 180 to 130 supply. Trying to get a 4th base off the left side, but this is like a 7th base. I mean, yeah, 7 bases on Eclipse is a huge number of bases. My gosh. Good stuff. Really good stuff here out of Rain on the economy. Trying to take out enemy Stargates. Trying to take out enemy Dragoons and High Templars. They wander up to us. Goliath's trying to dodge Storm, trying to get body shots off. Carriers not holding still enough to allow that happen. Wait, to allow that to happen? That's how English works. I'm trying to, like, shorthand my English lately. I'm not sure what's going on. My brain is fuzzy as I get older, perhaps. Anyway, Siege Tank can simultaneously threaten 2 bases at once here. It's a great place to park your tanks, dude. Really nice. Okay, don't let this tank die, though. D-Matrix definitely makes this tank not die when a Zealot's attacking it. Siege in, got one of the Stargates. Gonna get the other Stargate. This is how you beat carriers. You kill the Protoss before they have 12 carriers. Or even 6 or 8 carriers. That's how you do it. You take down their production capabilities. You snipe down every one of their Stargates and their fleet beacon. And now Rain has to basically go into Gateway Man again. His plans have been foiled. Well, pretty much anyway. Oh yeah, definitely foiled. Look at this carrier count. It's 3 carriers versus how many Goliaths? Well, better upgraded Goliaths too with 2-2. Yeah, look at that. Stargate down. Cyber Core gonna die easily. Nexus gonna take hits. This Nexus is gonna die to the 1 siege tank. It's 150 to 140 supply. Protoss is up, not by that much. Nexus down. Fleet Beacon doesn't have a ton of hit points. At least not compared to like a Nexus. Yeah, Fleet Beacon's dead. I think we've abandoned... No, we had not abandoned the dream, folks. We were building a Cyber Core inside the main base and replacing the Stargates in there. Wow. All right, so Rain's decided, despite the complete shutdown of his carrier attempt, up here, we're going to keep trying this. All right. I respect it. I respect the ever-loving crap out of it. Let's go. He's still trying desperately to break this spot over here. I don't know that he has enough. He's Psystorming. Scanning against DTs. Oh, maybe maybe, but also siege tanks firing on the Nexus is in the top left base too. The seventh base is dying, folks. Well, this tank has 5 kills and Nexus under his belt. He's gonna die to carriers, stoically accepting his death as one does. Nexus, dude, come on. I think he's got it. I don't think these carriers are going to get there in time. It's like 2 more hits. And done. Beautifully. 1 kill on that tank. It's a Nexus. That's how you go down. That's how you die. So, carrier fleet's not great. Not ideal. So retaking the 6th and the 7th base up here is Rain. It's a 4-basing Terran versus a 5-basing Protoss. We're including mains that are mined out at this point. This tank group gets dealt with easily. I mean, not every tank group you send out by themselves to kill a Nexus can actually get the Nexus, as we all know. However, look at this. It's 184 to 133 supply. The carrier count is 4. It's the most respectable it's been the entire time. It's a nice hybrid style. 2-3 upgrades on the ground units, and it's a 2-2-1 upgrade for the Sky Toss with a +3 attack, not too far out. So now we're playing traditional versus carriers on this map. DT drop attempt here, or sorry, tank drop attempt here. DT shows up to clear it out and does very, very well. That would have been so much harder to deal with. Vulture's on the run by, forcing an Archon merge there. Archons are not going to be good here. You don't want Archons. But it's better than having 2 dead High Templar, so that's exactly why the Archon merged, because that was the other option. See, oh, DT's down there too. Here's the carrier engagement of the day. It's a lot of Terran, man. I know he's down 50 supply, but this is a good army. This is 3-2 upgrades on this mech. He really wants to kill this Nexus. Spider-Mine's connecting on some Zealots running down. And, oh, weird angle. This Archon doing all right before he dies. Look at the tanks flanking in, or the Goliaths flanking in from the left side. Those Stutter step in. Carrier down. No, doesn't kill this carrier. 29 hit points on it. Dodging storms. There you go. Now takes the carrier down. And when the carrier group is this small, every carrier that dies reduces a lot. Reduces a lot of its damage. But it looks like another DT has to come down to save this base. And it's going to do it. Dude, what is with DTs in StarCraft sometimes? Terrans, Zergs, detection, difficult against permanently cloaked things. Who knew? Ooh, carrier wander across the map, kill the 4th base of RoyaL. Oh no! Quick, leave some units here to make sure this base dies. Go save the command center. Top left base is warping in too. Another Vulture setup down this way. Spider Mines do take down a couple DTs. That's a good use of Spider Mine. Wonderful stuff. DTs wiped out the attack on this base again. The DT plays from Rain have been elite this game. The Goliaths do manage to get here in time to save the command center, which didn't actually take any hits at all. It looks like maybe the carriers were simply attacking the SCVs, which is fine, I guess. Dude, these DTs, though. These DTs today. Oh, no, and RoyaL, GG's out. Oh, GG's out. He recognizes he's 2 down in supply. The Protoss is hanging on to the bases he's killed. He can't kill this one. He's down 7 bases to 4. And he's out of cash. He just does not have the wherewithal to replace the stuff that he's losing. And he GG's out. What a game. What a game. I would not say the carriers won this game. I would say Rain's expansion patterns and DT play is really what did it for him more than anything else. Obviously, the Psystorms and the Dragoons were excellent. Obviously, they all had their place in this for sure, too. Very impressed by it. But at the end of the day, the carriers did something. The DTs were awesome. These units were fine, and just not quite enough, not enough bases here. This is a tough map, right, for Terran to win on. I think they said in ASL 19 this is a bad map for Terran and TVP. Basically because of this, right? A lot of easy places to expand for the Protoss. And sometimes Terrans try to sneak up an attack around through this path that nobody thinks about very much and set up on your natural base and kill you. But he wasn't able to do that today, and he wasn't able to find the carrier tech and kill it before the carrier tech was already out. And even though I think he was close to getting there in time to really shut it down. But Rain had too many bases, he had too much income, he had too much other stuff going on, and that's what really killed RoyaL today. So nicely done, man. Rain getting a win. Again, in a game where there were carriers, and I don't think they were really the reason for the win, strangely enough. 130 to 114,000 points here on total score. Killed units even, produced units even. Weird numbers here, but it's economy that's really the kicker here. 18 to 4 on buildings raised, and it is a 20,000 resource outspend by Rain in this game. That's only 23 minutes. That'll get it done about 9 times out of 10. So, GG! That's what we're talking about. That is a fantastic PVT. Hope you enjoyed it. That's going to be it from me. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, Twitch, Instagram, TikTok, and Blue Sky, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.